Welcome to Business Over Beer, where entrepreneurs, small business owners, and people passionate about what they do bring us their favorite stories and their favorite beer. Hosted by Ben Surratt and Jonathan Kaler, it's time to get down to business and drink some beer.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Bob Podcast, the biggest podcast in the Pacific Northwest, just under the Sasquatch Hunters. I am your co-host, Ben Surratt. Alongside me, as always, is Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, Benjamin.
It's Friday. We have another person here again.
Yeah, we've got our sidekick, Canope.
Canope.
Down with the Canope P.
That's right, down with Canope.
That's right.
Yeah, you know me.
I do. Welcome back, Jason. Thank you for being here, as always.
Appreciate it.
All right, now don't talk anymore.
All right.
We have a special guest.
Hi.
If you could state your name, rank, and current billet for the record.
and how you're related to Canope.
My name's Aaron Garcia, or Agar, or as the ladies call me, hey you in the bushes. Actually, Canope's cousin. Known him my whole life, seriously. But yeah, glad to be here, participate, and hang out with y'all. Chat about beers and business. Meet y'all.
Good. Well, thanks for being here.
Well, it's the perfect thing, because that's what we do at the Bob Podcast.
That's right. Hopefully we learn a little bit about beer and learn a little bit about business. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Before we start, Jonathan here did some homework, and you had mead last time.
I did have mead, that's correct.
So check this out.
So, little fun fact about mead. I don't know if you knew this, but without mead, there'd be no honeymoons. So for all of you married folks in there, because sweet mead is the original aphrodisiac. The word honeymoon harks back to the medieval tradition of drinking honey wine for a full moon cycle. Honey wine, full moon cycle, honeymoon, after a new marriage. And mead would supposedly ensure a fruitful union bearing plenty of children, and it was taken so seriously that a bride's father included a month's worth of mead in her dowry.
Oh.
There you go. Little mead fun fact.
Hey, babe, go pick up some meat.
Well, good. Well, this is the beer.
Yes.
Business over beer.
This is the
podcast.
beer part.
So
Yeah.
really important. You brought a beer with you today. So why don't you tell us, Aaron, about the beer that you brought?
Well, it's by pFriem, and they have done some very good work from what I've had. And this is the pFriem IPA.
Big fan.
Super cool can too. Whoever the artist is, great job. Black can, gold bear with a German hat, and it's freaking delicious. But yeah, it's I don't know if it's an all-day drinking IPA, but
At 6.8 ABV, probably not.
you might not be able to make it all
I didn't
day.
read that yet.
For me, I'm kind of toucan Sam, so this is certainly not an all-day drinking beer, but it is light.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Aromas of peach and papaya.
Yeah, maybe a sixer before a soccer game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is when I first took a sip of it, it kind of had that German lagery taste to it. Or maybe that's just the drinking out of the can. Just there's a nostalgia there of drinking out of the can. But it's funny. I didn't notice the German hat on the beer. So there is certainly a German influence, I think it's inside of the beer.
It's a great job because it's not like that punch in the face IPA. That's that maybe.
I was just going to say that a lot of the IPA people are like, oh, it's like drinking grass. It's like, no, this has actually no bitters. I'd be interested to see what the IBUs on this is.
That'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, the IBU on these.
But yeah, it's definitely got kind of that malty backbone. It doesn't.
It's good.
Doesn't have a ton of hop up front, which
No, I dig it.
yeah. That's good. All right, Aaron, tell us a little bit about what you do. We're going to get into your business now a little bit.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, the business you're in, and how you got into it.
My business is fire stopping. So fire stopping is an integral safety piece of commercial construction. I guess the best way to describe fire stopping is fire and smoke containment. Think of a hotel, several stories up, right? Each level that goes up is actually a fire barrier. So there's a fire rating on that floor. It's supposed to last 2 hours. So what we do is we fire stop any penetration of pipe for plumbing, electrical conduit, whatever that depletes the integrity of that fire barrier. We use fire proofing materials to bring that back so that fire and smoke is contained for that 2 hour period, so people can get out of the building safely and the fire department can get in there safely. So that's what we do. We contain it.
So really important work that you do. How did you get started in that particular line of business?
Honestly, it was just by luck, and then I fell in love with it because I didn't even know this existed for people, and a lot of people don't until you start talking about it. So I said, I was doing HVAC right out of high school. I was running ductwork, putting in AC units, putting in furnaces, and I was like, all right, so I guess this is my life now. I'm 19. And I was like, I'm going to do this forever. And, the people that I was working with at the time, I just didn't see it going anywhere, so it was time to exit. And a cousin of mine, his wife worked at the union, or worked, with the union, and they said, hey, we're needing fire stoppers. And I said, what's a fire stopper? She told me a little bit about it, and I said, I'm in, let me try this out. And I started, this is back in 2002, and I started out at Intel. And so these are some of the most complicated fire stop systems I've had to install. I mean, there's big as a door, a window, a garage, some of these holes in these fire barriers. And you put these fire stop systems on there. Some of them have like wrap strip around plastic pipes that are huge, composite sheet metal materials. I mean, you're trying to build the rating back on this wall. So if a fire happens here, that it's not spread throughout the building. And to be honest with you, you're not making cookies out there. So there's a lot of chemical and shit going through these pipes and whatnot. So it was a great learning playground for me to do that. And I was in the field for about 5.5 years, but I didn't just stay there. So I got to touch on like high rises and healthcare and hospitals and things like that in schools. So I was up in Seattle and Portland, all over the Northwest actually. And then I had the opportunity to become an estimator project manager back in 2008. So I've been doing that ever since. And started fire stop divisions for several companies in the Northwest. And then I finally said, all right, it's my turn to do it. I'm going to do it myself. I want to do it this way instead of being, a fire stop division of an insulation company. I want to be a specialty fire stop contractor and offer this vast array of fire stop systems and, help our community. I mean, who's in these buildings? There are kids, there's our aunts, our grandmas in they're the old folks home or whatever.
For sure.
So it's our community, and they need our help because it's not much of a demand. As good as the inspection community is, some of this fire stopping is overlooked just because the education isn't there. And we do our best, but we're a small fire stop community. But we do our best to educate, and it's looking up with a lot of the code changes that have happened now. Is required to have a specialty fire stop inspector look at this. It's not happening everywhere, but it's starting to happen. It's bringing awareness. People are waking up and saying, oh shit, we forgot to include this. Hey, and now they're contacting folks like me. They can get them on the right path and make sure that everything's done properly.
Well, I mean, it's one of those, it's a product and service that is unseen, right? You don't even know about it until you need it, and it might save your life. That's incredible.
One of the coolest things that I've ever experienced is actually doing fire stop on something, and there was an occurrence. There was an incident. We were doing a wine bottle manufacturing plant up in Kalama, and so it was all electric. Their little smelting thing where they melted all the glass to make the wine bottles. And downstairs was this 3-hour rated vault. There's a lot of equipment in there, and a lot of that electrical equipment is very sensitive to smoke. So it's not only a life safety feature, it also, helps property loss and fires, in buildings and whatnot. So we did, these giant blockouts. They're the size of a garage door. And they've got all of these, what are called busways. Each one of those busways carries 2,000 amps, and there's 12 of them going through here. Did our fire stopping, everything looked beautiful. They had a fault arc on one of the elbows, So you got a flash of over 2,000 degrees, like instantly. So the whole...
Explain what's a false arc?
A fault arc?
A fault arc.
So where the connection was on the elbow, right beyond the wall, it wasn't secure enough. It wasn't proper. So when they turned the power on, it freaking exploded.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there was a tech probably 500 feet away. He had got permanent hearing damage because this thing was so loud.
Jeez.
Yeah, it exploded, fried everything. I mean, the wall was black. All of our fire stopping, the intumescent caulking that we use around the penetrations, what it does under fire conditions is it expands and chars. So it expands, seals up every little intricate hole so smoke and fire cannot pass through, and then it hardens. So it did its job. We went out there to check this out because the contractor was like, hey, we need you to repair this shed that blew up. And we're like, all right, let's go check it out. And, we're fire stop nerds, so we're like, oh, wow, we get to, it works. It really works.
I told you.
Yeah, I told you so. I mean, in all these fire stop designs, they're tested and listed by, UL, Underwriters Laboratories. So we have to install these properly for them because they've tested them in their lab and say, yeah, under these conditions, this will work up to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever that rating is. We go inside the vault, look brand new. Nothing had passed through that fire stop system. We're high-fiving and we're like, ugh.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was one of the greatest experiences in my career doing fire stop, to see it actually, and it just builds the belief inside of me of what we're doing and how much of a need of it is, but nobody knows it exists,
I never would have, I would never have known about it. I never would have thought about it. For real.
Yeah.
Do you get, I'm guessing you're mostly commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get agricultural farmers or anything like that would be a good fit for your business and what you do? Just thinking, because being from Wisconsin, there's a lot of barns and a lot of people there's a lot of fires that happen, especially when they have the silos.
I was just going to say the silos. Is that like a ventilation problem because that builds up and then it spontaneously combusts?
There was a lot of, they fixed it tremendously, but it still happens. There was one maybe 2 or 3 years ago where the top just blew off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Do you ever...
I've never, ever been asked to do anything with any type of silo or like that. And, thinking, from my world and my experience looking at the mechanics of fire stopping something like that, it would be pretty intricate. It would be, because for one, I mean, you basically got this giant tubular bomb.
Right? That's what it is.
Yeah, you have this giant tubular bomb, but you have to kind of eliminate what's going to ignite it first, rather than like, well, let's just protect this tube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so large. It's like, if it's going to explode, it's going to explode. There's no belt or something that we can put around this thing to contain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know.
It would
This
be.
came to my mind.
Here, give me some paper and some crayons. I'll figure some shit out right now.
Yeah, France.
Yeah, give me some crayons. I'll get this
colored
shit done
pencils,
right now.
whatever.
Yeah. I'll submit it to UL. Figured it out. Got it. No more silo fires.
And you will take your money to test it.
Eradicated.
I'm giving it to the people for free.
There you go. Well, I was going to ask the question because you had said before that you just fell in love with it, and I was going to ask you what was it about it that you fell in love with. And I don't even have to ask that question now because it's very clear
the passion.
from that last story to why and how easy it is for you to fall in love with that.
It's such an underdog fight, and I love it. It's and it's not everywhere, and it's so hard for me to understand why. In our community, in the general, I guess, commercial construction community, why it's not one of the first things we talk about when we sit into a meeting to build this building. How come we're not sitting down with the fire stopper, the general contractor, and the inspector saying, all right, this is how we're going to do the fire stop in this building. We're going to make sure, we're going to check this box off and make sure we got everything we need, and then move forward. Usually it's a last minute thing. We get a frantic phone call. It's like, we got inspection next week. none of the fire stopping's done. They're gonna fail us. They're only worried about their schedule. It's like, what about the future occupants of the structure? Let's get this done right. Let's get this on the right track.
Care about the schedule and getting the inspection passed.
Yeah, that's it.
But necessity. That's why we're here. That's why we do this.
For sure.
What kind of struggles or what kind of challenges do you find in your business, in your line of work? Mainly when you first started.
Well, there's many challenges, and that could go from getting paid by a customer to finding trained people, and since this is kind of like it still is kind of a newer trade, so you're investing a lot of time and money getting people trained up. But know this: Oregon and Washington are the only two states in the nation that have a 4-year fire stop apprenticeship program.
Huh.
And that was started, the company I used to originally work for, their hard work, their time, their efforts of saying, no, this needs to be its own trade. Back in 2006, we got it established in Washington, carried it to Oregon, and said, here we go. And we were able to get it going. But it was a lot of hard work for those fellas, and I watched it. And I've been on the apprenticeship committee since 2006, actually. I left in 2015. It's just, I needed a break. And then other adventures came up. So I haven't been back, but I plan on getting back on that committee and being a part of it. Eventually, I can see us getting licensure, much like a plumber has a license to do plumbing, or an electrician has, a license. There's a need for it, and that's the right direction to go. And whether it's meeting with people from Olympia or Salem and getting that conversation started, that's where we're at right now with it.
Are there incentives for businesses to have fire, like have you guys come in and do a whole whatever? I don't know.
Absolutely. And here's one. I don't want to say the name of the facility, but they're required to maintain their fire barriers. They are required by code to maintain their fire barriers, and they have to be not audited but inspected annually to make sure that they can continually get some funding and keep the doors open. I guess more education for the fire marshals and inspectors for sure, but making sure that those fire barriers are maintained, that's been helping us out a ton, because we've been able to get a lot of work doing some of that type of stuff, in like healthcare facilities, things like that. And it's not new construction, so if the economy dips or whatnot, that's definitely helped us out in the past doing work like that.
Well, man.
So that's what I was going to ask is your purpose and your mission is clear. I mean, that's pretty obvious, and your passion for what you do. But you're in business, and you're a business owner,
sure,
right? And you have to make money, right? You have to to turn a profit, and you've got to take care of your family and families of your employees and
right.
all of that. So, talk a little bit about how do you develop your business model, how you go to market, and essentially, how do you take this passion and make it a viable business?
That's a great question, because I'm just figuring it out.
How long have you been in business for yourself?
A year and a half.
Okay.
And
you are okay.
Really brand new into all
really
this.
Cool.
It's continual growth. So the issues that we face now are like, Mart, how are we going to have working capital? How are we going to fund this? Because we've got, we can grow here, we can grow here. We've got this opportunity showing its face, and we can do this, we can do that. But you need working capital. And another thing in contracting is, larger contractors are slow to pay. They
true.
just, I'll say it louder. They are slow to pay. And I don't know why. They just like holding your money. But anyway, for a small guy like me, sitting, with 120 days out on your ARs, that's not fun. But we are low cost. We're not top heavy. And we're not here for a snatch and grab. We want to build a relationship with our customers to last. We provide this service. We take away your liability. You can focus on running pipe. You can focus on running electrical. That's what you guys are good at. We'll take the liability away. We know how to do fire stop. We will do that for you. And you know, when my business partner and I, we started this, like, all right, the business plan's simple. Get work, make money. That's it.
Wow, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, so, you know, we go out, we don't even think about it. And this sounds crazy being a business owner. We'll go out, meet with our customers, offer them our services, we get work, and we've done this several times before for other companies. Go through, manage the work, making sure that, everything's making sense money-wise on the project. We're not spending too many hours or going over budget or whatnot, and being frugal as we can, yet providing the best service that we can for our customer. And it's fucking working out. It's super simple. But, the hardest thing that we're facing right now is like, all right, we have this opportunity to grow. Now we just need to get some more funding.
So where do you see that funding coming from?
Probably an SBA, probably like a small business loan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, you would want to, if you had your chance to be in front of anybody, like you were giving your pitch, would it be for the lending, like getting money, or would it be for acquiring businesses that would use your services?
No, not acquisitions. It would be just getting working capital so that I can hire the right people and put these people in the right spot. I mean, that's one of the biggest things to make us successful. I've got to work with some really freaking talented people in my time. I mean, I've been in this market since 2002. I've got to work with some extraordinary folks, and we've all grown and gone different directions. Fire stopping is kind of a small community, and it's tight knit because we're all in the same fight. We really are. Met some really good friends, and moving forward, to see us grow and to be able to go multi-state, to be able to support. There's a need for life safety solutions in every major city across the U.S. Hands down. So that's big picture. That's what I'm seeing right now. How do we fund that? And between now and then, I think right now, getting the right people in the right spot here, and moving forward and being able to fund that's the next step, because we're right there.
Talk a little bit about the community, the fire stop community. Mm-hmm. It's clear that what's good for one is good for all. When you win, the whole community wins.
Right.
Talk about that interaction. Talk about how you all work together and how you try to spread that message throughout the contractor community, the construction community, through the financial community, through occupants and the people who are going to take ownership of the building. Talk about that a little bit and some of the things that you're doing there that might pay dividends down the road.
Well, it's kind of the fire stop community is a pretty small community, but it's kind of tight knit because we all came from the bottom. A lot of us did. We all started, in the dirt, working on the tools, installing these systems day in and day out, looking at the tolerances, making sure everything was installed properly. And we have a lot of pride in what we do. So, I mean, there's phenomenal craftsmen in this trade. Phenomenal. And, we've heard other trades, laugh about it. It's like, you guys are just caulking pipes. It's like, all right, well, we take a lot of pride in caulking pipes. My business partner, he was just in Idaho in a nuclear research facility installing these crazy fire stop systems on plastic pipes. I mean, these are some of the biggest we've ever done, and they're so intricate and they're done so well. They're like industrial art. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. And when it's done right, and this shit looks good. I mean, it's got a very clean, artistic aesthetic to it. It's really cool. I'll show you guys some pictures later.
That'd be great.
But within the community, we pride ourselves on what we're doing and doing good work. But also, say so-and-so at another company landed a big one. It's like, good job, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you got it instead of maybe the plumbers were self-performing on it. Or, they just didn't do it at all. You got it. That's good. That spreads it, And yeah, I mean, some of the challenges that we face is enforcement. Enforce it. Make sure that it is done properly. That's what going back to what I touched on earlier is sitting down, at the beginning of this construction project, I mean, we're building new condos for people and apartments for people on the Vancouver waterfront. Are they safe? You know what I mean? Like, and they are. They have been. We sat down in front of the GCs up front. We were able to, get on board with them, even with the inspection community, and it was a great process. It was beautiful. I wish every project could be done like that. And that's what needs to happen everywhere, on every project. That awareness, that education piece, And, when I talk to you about the requirement code-wise for a qualified fire stop inspector, that has to, that's per code. They have to be doing it, but they're not doing it, right? It's not on every project. So we still got some roadblocks, but we're working on them. And we're trying to be as gentlemanly as possible. But I think with, getting the licensure piece, that's huge. That's some validity. That's pretty good. That's huge. And then getting that inspection piece on there, because if you're not inspecting it properly, what are you doing? You're letting some shit go.
How do you balance being a business owner and trying to go find new business with having to go out and do the work? I assume you are hands-on and doing some of the work yourself, but you also have to be the salesperson. You have to be in front of the GCs. Maybe talk about this nuclear project specifically. Like, what did that look like as far as how did you uncover that project? How did you get on the bid? How did you get in front of the right people and land that project?
Quite honestly, it has to do with just relationships I've had with vendors that we buy material from. I've never felt that I need to, beat on a vendor or, badmouth a vendor or, work a vendor to work for me. It's like, no, we're all in this together. I need the material that you have, let's work on this together. You're seeing more jobs than I see. You're out there, let's work together and build this thing together. So that was, and being in the same market since 2002 has helped. That's how we got that. Just a vendor said, hey, I've got a customer in Idaho. They're in over their head. They do not know how to do fire stopping properly on something of this size. I mean, a plastic pipe that's 22 inch, that takes a lot of fire stop power to close off and secure a wall under fire conditions. And that's essentially what our fire stop systems do. So if there's a fire on one side of the wall, it's going to be super hot. That plastic pipe's going to melt. That fire stop, that intumescent I told you about, it expands and chars. So that shit's going to close that pipe off and close that void and make a barrier. So it brings the fire rating back to that barrier that's been penetrated for up to 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever the rating is.
Is there like a YouTube thing or a video that we could attach to that people can see how it works?
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, you can go to, lifesafetysolutions.co and look at a lot of the work that we've done before and see everything that we do. But yeah, there's videos you can find of, fire stopping testing. I know UL has some, Hilti has some, maybe STI Fire Stop Products has some, 3M. Those are the big three players of the fire stop materials. STI is kind of different. That's all they focus on. STI, Specified Technologies Specified Technologies Inc. They are the fire stop specialty guy that we go to get all the best systems. They're just more innovative than anybody else. They don't make Post-it notes. They don't make anything else. They don't make they do fire stopping. That's what they do. And you can look up some stuff there.
Cool.
Well, we're at a point now.
Well, I have another question.
Well, you stopped me on my last question, so I'm going to stop you before your question.
All right. Fine.
Because I'm out of beer.
Fine. Oh yeah.
So
and we have Angie's
So
mystery
now
beer.
I think this is a good breaking point. So Ben's going to ask a question, and then I'm going to ask a question because our understanding is you're actually picking up and moving to a new market, and I want to get into a little bit about what does that look like for you as a business owner. How do you move that business from one market to another, and what's your plan for that? But now is the time for Angie's mystery
Angie's mystery beer.
This is an ongoing segment
If you're
on
not-
the Bob podcast.
It's where my wife Angie picks out a beer.
That's his wife. She's a saint. She's a saint.
She is, yeah.
St. Angie.
So Angie picks out a beer. It's a mystery beer, and it could be anything from. She's gotten a sour, right?
No, she got a stout,
A stout.
an imperial stout.
Oh, that's right.
That wasn't nice.
But it was.
But it was delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It was
yeah.
great.
It was good. Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to see this.
All right.
All right. We'll
Brown bag it. Here we go.
All right.
Ready.
But-
Right here next
The
to
big reveal
Jeez.
from Michigan.
Oh God.
Are
I didn't
you
like that look.
kidding me?
Is it Dragon's Milk?
It is.
How'd you know?
Because it was.
Have you had it before?
I have not actually, but
Why?
but it's Holland, Michigan. I could see the brewery.
Do dragons have teats?
Oh yeah.
Pass it to the guest first.
Man, really?
Just take a pull.
Give me a second to stretch.
That's like a shot.
Oh my! It's bourbon.
That's like taking a shot.
Oh Jesus! I smell.
It
oh,
is.
man.
It is Asian bourbon.
There's notes of alcohol,
Oh,
and that's
Lord.
about it.
Oh, chocolate. Very chocolatey.
Is it possible to remove her sainthood?
Holy cow, that's good though.
This is certainly not a backyard.
Can I take another pull off
yard
of
Dude,
work.
yeah, absolutely. You're the guest.
It's actually that's a fantastically brewed beer. I mean,
nice.
it's wildly complex.
It's heavy.
It's not overly bourbony.
It's not at all.
It's boozy,
I was
but
just
not
gonna
too
say
much.
that. It's actually perfect.
Because there's a lot of the bourbon
That
barrel
you
aged
just
beers
get.
that I can't even drink.
Nope, just shivered.
it's nicely balanced.
Take another pull off of that, because
it's
the
a-
second's even better than the
Yeah,
first.
it's a good beer. So Ben, you had a
That had
question.
a whiskey taste the second pull.
Hold on.
Am I wrong? What is that?
I mean the bourbon is there.
Yeah.
The bourbon is there,
Yeah,
but I think it's balanced. It's
It's really good. It's balanced.
It's very chocolatey. I mean, it's very smoky.
Man,
It's smooth.
They did a great job on
not bad.
that was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's
not
delicious.
bad.
I gotta do a
It's-
third. I mean,
yeah.
that's a
Do
a
it.
third pull.
How bad? So that was bottled in March of this year. I would love to have that in March of next year. I'll bet it's fantastic. A year sitting around.
So next
Mellow
year,
out.
hopefully, the Bob podcast will be big enough that we can go to
Holland, Michigan.
Holland,
Holland.
Michigan. And
Yeah.
We're the largest podcast this side of the Mississippi, aren't we?
the biggest podcast in the Pacific Northwest, just under the Sasquatch Hunters. Come on, Canope. That's why you're the third.
That's called a setup. I set you up for that.
Oh, okay. You're doing your great job.
I'm trying.
No, my question was back to the serious business stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I'm self-employed. I think I love competition. Competition drives you.
Yeah.
What would be your competition? Are there other people that do what you do, and are
Oh, absolutely. Some of the best competition. I mean, there's another specialty fire stop contractor in our market, and I mean, I used to work for them, and they're great. They are the leader. Those guys are the shit. They do great work. They have some of the best installers, and it's like, these guys are awesome. Then you also have larger firms that are actually, they're insulation houses, right? Their bread and butter is insulation. Oh, and then we also offer this fire stop piece just because our customers ask for it. And I've worked for those guys before, and I've built fire stop divisions for them before. And I'll tell you what, fire stopping is not their first thing. It's like, if you need anything to build your business, they're not there to help you. And it's like, well, I feel we can go in this avenue. I feel we can go here and do bigger things. No, just provide the number to our insulation customer. That's all you gotta do.
I was going to ask you, like, what makes you different from your competition?
Freedom, the whole spectrum, rather than being, kind of like, chained to this, one thing, and we just support that one thing. Now I can just go and support anything. And like, the shit that we're getting into now is just like, this is what I've always wanted to do. This is great. Why didn't I do this years ago? But I wasn't ready for it then. You know, I had to go through my shit. I had to go through the turmoil. I had to go deep. I had to go dark. I had to go through that stuff to get to where I'm at now, so that I could perform at this level and recognize that shit and do better, you know, and just do the best work that I can. And now there's nothing holding you back. You're free to fly and just, you know, whatever you want to do. And it just opened up everything.
Dude, I love when you said that. You got to get through the dirt. You
Yeah.
got to get through the dark. Because self-employed, small business owner, as a business owner,
Yeah.
there's plenty of dark.
Oh, yeah.
And some of us who are not self-employed
Sorry,
have plenty of dark too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes. Plenty of dark.
Those are some of the darkest. It's been a wild ride, but definitely I feel like I'm in the right place now.
Awesome,
Yeah,
man.
even though there's no plan.
So you're in the right place. I'm fascinated by this. So you're in the right place. Year and a half in, you're building your business. You're feeling good. You've got this freedom. You're having some success, and now you're going to split and go to a whole new market. And from one of the conversations we had earlier, it sounds like it's a very personal decision, right? It's something that you want to do with your family. You know, you've got friends and ties in Arizona, so I'm going to go and move because that's what we want to do. The time is right, and it seems very personal. How does that decision impact your business? What goes into that decision-making process, and what challenges do you see in taking your business now to a new market?
This is the greatest thing about it, is that challenge. It's like, all right, we went through that dark dirt of, getting this thing going, me and my business partner, and it was heavy. It was, a lot of hard work. He's well capable of managing this branch here and owning it and, getting the right people in the right place, maintaining it and growing here, not only here, but in Seattle as well. And so that next challenge is like, all right, I see there's an opportunity down in AZ. They don't do it like we do it. We can offer our services. What's holding me back? My wife can, for her job, she works from home, so we can go down there. Like before, when I touched on, like, it wasn't the right time, something wasn't working out, I was either working for somebody else or, we just could not do that transfer. I dig it down there. I really do. I love the sun. I mean, this last winter really brought me down. But, there's so much opportunity. It's just, it's like, that looks like fun. It's like, but that's going to be a lot of hard work. I know, but it's going to be a great challenge. And I look forward to it. And here we go. That's the next thing.
So from a business standpoint, it becomes about expansion.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're maintaining your presence here with your business partner.
Absolutely.
And now you're taking this opportunity then to try to expand into new markets.
This is how we do it, and we shouldn't. I don't know. I mean, you can tell me, hey, what the fuck? You need to stay here. You need to keep doing it here for a few years. Says who? We've got a great backlog. We've got great, relationships with our customers, and they're growing. There's more opportunities coming. No, now is the right time to do it. It might sound, bass backwards or whatever, but I think it's a great opportunity to do it, and we can do it. We just have to figure that out. But I love that challenge, man. I love that fight. It's going to be so much fun figuring out that market. I've never done work down there, but, I've got some friends that I've done work with before that are down there, and I think it'd be a good thing for Life Safety Solutions. And, now, like I said earlier, there's a need for us in every major city. So we're basically building the blueprint on how to do that and take it to every city. We are taking notes. We are, making sure, like, all right, what were the hindrances? What did that cost us? All right, so what is, what do we really need? And the way we started it, I shouldn't be here. I should be a statistic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wasn't supposed to be in this position. Mm-hmm. But guess what, kids? Hard work works. So if you're good at what you're doing and you love what you're doing, fucking put some elbow grease into it, and you can do it.
I gotta tell you, you're gonna work. You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
Dude, that drive you have, that is, you have the stones to do it. And I guarantee you, even your competition wouldn't have the stones to do what you're doing right now.
I wake up every day with this energy, and this is after I left. I mean, like, when I left other companies, like, it was such like this vibration. It was like, fuck, dude, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And so since I started the company, it has just been, you're on the right path. I get out of bed. Doesn't matter what I did the night before. I get out of bed at 5, put my feet on the floor, and it's like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's go. What do we got? Let's check these boxes. I can't wait. Let's go. You know, and it's exciting every single freaking day.
Dude, I wish you the best, man.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. All right. So, Benjamin, it is time for the final question.
If you had a talk show, who would be your first guest?
Ooh. Oh, fuck. What a great one. It would have to be on HBO because it'd be really inappropriate.
That's so surprising because your language is really good.
Yeah. Well,
if you can't see, well, you can't see.
Canope
is pointing.
Doing some sort of like pointing gesture at his face right now. What? I'm not good at charades. Oh, Jason would be my first guest. Canope.
Oh.
Absolutely.
All right, then who would be your second guest?
Yeah, we would be your second.
You wouldn't even be a guest. You'd be just right there.
I would.
You would be there.
Kind of like I am now.
Yeah.
Here.
You're like, you'd be in the chair and be like, all right, Jason, let's do this.
All right, besides Canope, who would your first guest be?
Oh, man. And they can't be dead, right?
No,
you
they
can't
can be
revive them.
Dude, it's your
some
guest.
Weird way. Dude, what a great question. My mind's blown. I don't even know. Like, who do I want to talk to? I mean, do I be cool and invite Keanu? Do I have Keanu on my show?
Duh.
Or do I have like this beautiful, Sofia Vergara? Why would I do that? So, yeah, I think just me and Canope sitting on the couch is enough.
Aaron, if people want to learn more about fire stopping and the importance of the work that you're doing, where can they find it?
www.lifesafetysolutions.co.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you spending the time with us.
Oh, that's another story.
Would you care to tell it?
If you got time. Do we got time?
It's a podcast.
Dude, we have a lot of time.
Cool. So, Jason told me this when I was first getting the company started. He's like, dude, you don't want to do .co. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to go .com, and you're going to miss out on opportunities. No. It's 2018. People are evolved. They're woke. They know when I say .co, it means .co. No. Actually, it doesn't. So we recently have found out who owns, the .com, and we had just paid $3,000 for the letter M.
Oh my God.
To spend the lowercase letter M.
Just for the fucking letter M. What a great story.
That's outstanding.
That is an outstanding story.
So, soon to be.
Yeah. So, hey, send it to lifesafetysolutions.co or .com, and I will get it. Yeah. From that site, you can request a quote, contact us directly, and see some of the cool stuff we do.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for joining us. This was a really fun conversation.
Absolutely.
We really enjoyed it. Benjamin?
Yes, where can they find us on the internet?
Check us out at bizoverbeer.com. That's B-I-Z, overbeer.com. And check out all the show notes and find out more wonderful things about getting into your business and getting into beer. We really appreciate it.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Aaron. I want to thank Canope. I want to thank, of course, Kaler. And myself. Because I was here. I was late, as usual.
Thanks, man.
But I was here. I want to thank myself. You got to pat yourself on the back sometimes.
You do.
All right. Peace, everybody. Thank you.
See you. Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Idiocracy by Christian Leo. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Business Over Beer.